Okay, let's get into this chat. One thing I know is I'm excited about this chat. Now, I don't know what's exciting me, but when I figure out how things happen or what makes things happen, for me, it's like I have landed on an ice cream cone or something like that. I don't know if it happens to you, but I feel my brain is wired to find sequences, algorithms of how things work. And when I share them with you, then I know that we are on our way to being better, to thriving. Remember, we say that we are not sinking, we are not surviving, we are thriving. I know that by saying that, some of you are saying, but you know what? You don't know what exactly I'm going through. You don't know what exactly is happening in my life. You don't know the kind of month that, that we are going through. You don't know what is happening at my workplace. You don't know what is happening in my marriage. You don't know what is happening with my children. I know that everything is happening somewhere, somehow, and things that are not so good. But again, that does not take away the fact that God has given us the ability to dream, to hope. God has given us the ability to reach out to our highest potential. That means we cannot live today sunk in and feeling so down because of the things that are happening around us. There is the enthusiasm of tomorrow that is calling upon you, that is telling you dream big, that is telling you, have the ideas, that is telling you execute, put in the action, put in the effort. There is a better tomorrow. And let me tell you, if there is no hope in your life that your life is going to be better, then you are better off. You are as good as dead, because the only thing that keeps us going in this life is actually hope. All right. For those of you that, when we were ending last year, I told you about my words for this year, and they are not these pompous, words like the other year. I was hinging so much on confidence, on strategy, on clarity, and that took us quite a mile. Those are words that will never go away, because clarity is one of those things that keeps us going. But this year, it's more about hope for life. It's more about being compassionate, and it's more about embellishing. Now, God cannot give me these words and just tell me to come here and have these chats with you if these chats are not going to be very fundamental and very crucial in your life. I'm not here wasting my time. I am here speaking to someone, stirring you up and reminding you that there is greatness, that you can dream big, and you can have big ideas, and you can believe for bigger things in your life. And if you don't have that, then I don't know what you have. All right. So today, while I was thinking about how things actually work, I thought about science, and I know that we all have different definitions that we were given at school, and that is quite weird definitions. But when President Museveni said that he loved scientists and stuff like that, I went into a frenzy of thinking, why does he love scientists? And there's a time he explained and said that, because they make things happen, and because they derive things from scratch, and because they do this and this. And so I came to a conclusion that he wants this country to actually go on to grow. But if there's a group of people that can be able to figure out how things can be done, the formulas of how things can be done, then we will be good. Now, that means when it comes to science, it's about the formulas of, if you do this, it's going to end up like this, and if you do that, it's going to end up like that, and if you do that, it's going to end up like that. The same thing I've talked about principles, and I said principles make us, and if we do not follow the principles break us. Why? Because they are formulas that have been put in place, and they are non-discriminatory, and they do not segregate. They will not say that, this one is from which country. They will not say that this one has this status. Principles are principles, okay? Formulas are formulas. You apply it, it actually works in your favor. You don't apply it, or you apply it wrongly, you learn from it. It's not that you're going to be a total failure if you apply it, or if you apply it wrongly, but you will learn one way of how not to do it. All right? So that is where I want us to stop resisting the principles of life. The principles of life. We've talked about choices, the power of choices. We've talked about sowing and reaping. That is a principle, is not going anywhere. That one is a result of the other. And so if you do not sow, you do not reap, or whatever you sow is what you reap. You are sowing effort, you are getting the results that you need. You are sowing, you are giving time, you are sowing in whatever it is, but you realize that it is a principle that for as long as the heavens and the earth exist, this principle is not going to change. That give and it will be given back to you. It's an exchange, it's a transaction. And so you are never going to take that away. For as long as you are a giver, for as long as you are doing something, that means it will always find its way to you. So all those principles, whatever principles, one day I think I'll just take time so that we can go through principles. But today I just want us to remind us about very simple principles of life, okay, scientific principles of life that we can be able to look at. I don't want you to stop lamenting. You are not dead. Your life is not finished. You still have things to do. You still have bigger dreams. I know that some of you have given up, but this is not time to give up, okay? This is not time to give up. This is time for you to recollect yourself and to restart the journey. All right, and so many of us keep saying, there's this statement that we keep saying, oh, I am trying. I used to be that kind of person that says, oh, I am trying. These days I no longer say I am trying, because I am not trying. Whatever I find, whatever my hands find to do or my heart finds to do, I do it with all my might, okay? Because then if I am not willing to do it, then I should leave it alone. Why waste my time? Then if I am going to do it, just like one of my friends, Keita, keeps saying that if you eat a frog, eat a juicy one. Okay, why would you eat a frog and then you're eating a small one? You are wasting time, because a frog is a frog. Whether it's juicy, whether it's tiny, it is a frog. So if you choose to eat it, then eat the big one, eat the the juicy one. And I hope that we can be able to move together. Okay, so I want us to talk about energy. I want us to talk about energy, because everything that we do in this world is energy, and energy is a law. Energy is a principle. Energy is it's a state, okay? Everything around us is energy. It vibrates and it has a certain frequency, and the people around us pick on that energy. People around us, some of you have said, oh, so and so has bad energy. I want you to think twice, and just like you can't explain it or you can't define it, but when you see good energy, you can tell good energy and you can tell bad energy. Just like attitude, maybe you will not define what attitude is, or you can define it, but when you see bad attitude and see good attitude, you will actually tell. Now, so many of these principles can be applied in building wealth, in getting or pursuing success, in just making your life better, in resisting the sinking and the surviving, and getting into the thriving and the flourishing. All right. And so one of them is something that I talked about recently, and I said one of the things that is going to keep us in poverty this year is going to be focusing so much on lack instead of abundance. Now, that is where I got this notion that actually it's about energy, what we put out there. And so I realized that my whole life I have exuded a certain kind of energy, and let me tell you, that energy has attracted so many things in my life. Now, so many of us, when we dwell on the negatives, we don't know that we are actually, it's an energy we are stirring up, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, and it's going to give us an equal measure, sometimes even pressed down and overflowing. We don't know that. So we are living a careless life in this world while we are saying something else, but our actions, our energy, our vibration, our frequency is saying something else. Okay, so that is where we have to be in alignment. One of the key things that I am looking at this year is actually living in alignment in my personal life, in the people that I'm mentoring, in everything that I choose to do, living in alignment. So aligning myself with abundance when it comes to energy. If I'm to ever attract anything, if I'm to ever attract anything good that I want, be it wealth, be it just joy, be it just happiness, whatever it is, even the good people, because I mean, if we want to build better circles of good friends that are going to lead us somewhere or that are going to help us to get somewhere in life, you realize that there is an energy that you must be able to align so that you can be able to maintain your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Now, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, I want you to look at those, because so many times we don't know that we have control over our thoughts, and yet we actually have control over our thoughts. I know that we are in an age and era where thoughts are running at us at a neck-breaking speed, but we can choose what to dwell on and what not to dwell on. We cannot stop every thought from coming and crossing our mind, but when it crosses your mind and that is not a thought you want, can you just let it pass so that you can evoke the one that you want? And I use the right word, to evoke. To evoke is to call upon. To evoke is to remember. To evoke is to want. To evoke is to desire. Now, so many times, when I desire something good, I have actually put my mind on it. And when I put my mind on it, I start, coming up with ways of how I can get to it. Now you see that is alignment, because then I have put my thoughts in line, I have put my emotions. Now emotions are very hard to put in line, because your emotions, sometimes you have the highs and low, and sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're positive, sometimes like they keep fluctuating, because our emotions are greatly affected by the external factors. They're greatly affected by other people. They are affected by news. They are affected by so many things. But the moment, because part of your emotions is the will, you have the will to say, I will dwell on this, I will stick to this, and I'm going to keep myself enthusiastic. I'm going to keep myself happy. I'm going to keep myself anticipating. I'm going to keep myself expecting. Now, that is a mood. That is an emotion. The moment I have aligned my thoughts, do you know that you can live in a world where you're thinking something different, your emotions are saying something different, and your actions are saying something different. Now, so many of us are not intentional enough and mindful enough to align those three things to work together for your good. Now, that means you've heard me well. It takes intentionality and it takes mindfulness. Things do not just happen to us. They do not just happen to us. You cannot live a reckless life. You cannot live a life that is not calculated. You cannot live a life that is not thought through. You cannot. You cannot just be Nagala, and in Luganda we have found words for such kind of living. You live Nagalali, you live like, and the words are actually bad. If someone tells you Otunula Nagalali, as in Otunulanga Boyagala, you just look anyhow. Like you woke up, and to whoever it may concern, okay, you just didn't put yourself together. A person that puts themselves together is someone who thinks, okay, this is what I want to put on, this is how I want to appear, this is how I want to smell, you align. When it comes to you hitting your goals, guys, when it comes to you getting in line and moving towards your dreams, I want you to hear me well, and I want you to hear me right, okay? Align yourself. Get your thoughts, put them together, okay? Get your actions, get your emotions, let them back you up. The moment you are one and the same, and you are moving towards your goals, and you do not have any doubt, just remember that scripture that says that when you pray, believe, okay? That means some of us are in disbelief, like we are doubtful about everything. And when you are doubtful, that is a frequency off. That is a vibration off. That is an energy off. Okay? But when you are hopeful, and when you are in belief, constant belief that, this is going to happen. And some of us have tested it. I know I have witnesses. I know that as you watch me right now, you can tell it in your mind. You know it in your heart. You're like, you know what? Every time I have aligned myself, every time I've been enthusiastic, every time I have anticipated something, it doesn't mean that everything 100% is going to happen the way you want it. It doesn't mean bad things are not going to happen. And it doesn't mean that when bad things happen, that means it was your choice or it was your fault. Guys, that means, so many things happen. The external factors are going to happen. They are going to act against us, okay? But how you react to them is what matters. How you respond to them is what matters. When everyone is going through lack and you're saying, you know what? No, I'm not going to lack a day in my life. No, I'm not going to be broke. No, I'm not going to be broken. No, I'm not going. And you speak with authority. Why? Because your thoughts, a person that speaks with authority is a person that is in alignment. Yeah, because their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions are one and the same. And now they have all the authority. A person that has the audacity, by the way, do you know having audacity? Having audacity is because you think of yourself a certain way, you have put your emotions a certain way, and now your actions are actually saying that you are audacious. Because when we say, be audacious, some of us don't know what that means. It's an energy, okay? So I want you to know that you as a human being, you are an energy. How you appear in the world, and that energy attracts. That energy brings about the things that you want to happen, okay? That energy creates the kind of life that you want. That energy creates the success. It creates the kind of breakthrough. It creates the kind of abundancy, and it creates the kind of success that you want. I want you to be very, very, very careful, okay? So make sure that if whatever you want, you naturally attract the opportunities and success into your life. The reason as to why we will put ourselves in places where there is success. For example, when I've told my story several times, and I said, when I got tired about having a bad life and, being broken and being broke and being all that, you realize that I made a covenant with myself. When you make a covenant with yourself, you are actually, and I have never looked at it that way, I'm just looking at it right now. I prayed and I made a covenant with myself and with God. And I said, God, this is the last time. I'm in such a ditch. I'm in such a situation. Never, ever in my life, never again in my life will I ever be in such a place again. Now you see, I am bringing my thoughts, I am bringing my emotions, and then the following day I woke up, and in line with my thoughts and my emotions, I actually walked to town to go and make sure that I look for a job, to go and make sure I meet someone, and so that I can discuss the ideas and what I want to do with my life, so that I can see whether I can get a green light, whether I can just proceed with my life to what I want. And indeed, let me tell you, God, sometimes for the things that we have to do, He waits on us. Sometimes we think we are waiting on God, but we are actually waiting on ourselves. God is saying, I'm waiting on you. We are saying, oh God, I'm waiting on you. We are busy in prayer. I was actually thinking, it was last evening, I was thinking about someone I know that is constantly in prayer, constantly in prayer. Prayer is a good thing. I love prayer. My life is a result of prayer. Like who I am is prayer, okay? If you cut me and split me, it will be prayer that will be oozing out. I believe in the power of prayer. However, if God said that He will bless the works of our hands, that means if you are in prayer 24/7, okay, and a whole year, and you are not doing anything that will actually bring money into your hands, you're not working, He has nothing to bless, because the works of your hands, where are the works of your hands? There is nothing you have done. So He has nothing. He has nothing. Okay, so what prayer does and faith is to align us. And then you align your emotions. And then you align your actions. You cannot just align your thoughts and your emotions and say, voila, I am done. No, it does not happen like that. Number 2, action as energy in motion. Wealth requires not only ideas but consistent action. Your actions form an energy, and when directed effectively, they create a momentum and manifest the tangible results that you want. When you go out, when you put your ideas into play, and some of us in this age and era, we don't need to do too much. You can start from somewhere. We have free resources. We have free platforms. It's a matter of you discovering yourself, knowing your purpose. What is your calling? If you don't call it calling or purpose or anything, what are you passionate about? Can you put it out there into the world? And when you put it out there into the world, there are people that are resonating with you. There are people that are coming to you. There are people that are wanting to work with you. You see that? That is action, that you have taken time to do something. You have taken time to sow. You have taken, you cannot reap what you have not sown. You can't. So action as an energy, because we are talking about the energy or the law of energy, and you being energy and everything you do being energy, I want you to create a bubble of energy that creates the kind of life that you want. Let me tell you, it is beautiful. It is the sweetest thing, and you don't have to do too much. Like when you realize that everything around you is about energy, you're going to make your life simple. You're going to, because then you're going to do the first things first, okay? You're going to do the first things first, and everything is going to fall in place, okay? It is going to fall in place. Life is like a puzzle, okay? The moment you know that there is a criteria, that there is a formula, and one of these formulas is the energy, then you are going to be very careful how you place your energy, because when you place that energy, some things are going to fall in place. We have seen those pieces of the puzzle that you place, and all of a sudden you have a clearer picture of where everything else falls. Okay, you have played Candy Crush, and you have known that if I move this is more like the domino effect, okay? This is more like the domino. If I move it, everything around it is actually moving. There is a ripple effect around it. Now that is energy. Energy creates the ripple effect around everything. There are people that will never see poverty in their lives. Yes, they grew up poor, yeah? I grew up from a very poor background, but I can assure you I will never smell poverty in my life. Why? Because I have taken the principles of life so seriously, the science of life so seriously, okay? That it is not just about hustle and me pushing through. It's about the internal alignment and me doing what I ought to do, and things fall in place. The results are evident, okay? So I need you to be able to know that high energy attracts opportunities. Success is attracted by a high vibrational energy state, such as enthusiasm, passion, gratitude, you know? When you are faithful in the small, God entrusts you with the big. So you realize that we limit ourselves. If you can only think about this, then you will realize that you are only limiting yourself. If you are faithful in the small, there is a big that is waiting to be entrusted with you. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. When your energy is focused, okay, when you commit it to the purpose, to the passion, to the kind of work that you are doing, if you're the kind that is complaining all the time, that is energy. Let me tell you, it is repelling so many things. If you're the kind that respects your fear so much, that is energy, and you will never fear, and fear and wealth and success and breakthrough and making it in life do not dwell in the same vicinity or in the same place. Why? Because we must squash fear. We must be able to work against it. We must be able to, to go against it in order to get the things that we need to get in life. Okay? So you align yourself. Okay? You align yourself. The sow and reaping, I mean, that is an effect that you can never take away. But when we read about it, I wrote something here that I would want to read to you. That the effort and energy you invest determines the results you receive, emphasizing, okay, that success is indirect, it's proportional to your input. Okay? And when we look at Galatians 6:7, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever you sow is what you reap. So diligently sowing energy into your work, education, and business ensures a harvest of wealth and success. Diligently is the word to be underlined. Diligently. And I will add another word. Diligently and consistently. Because some of us, by the way, I have seen so many people, because I work with so many people, I mean, people developing industry, and that is a daily work. I have seen people that align themselves in one season and then misalign themselves in another season. When life is good and things are going their way, they get aligned a bit. When an issue comes, a problem comes, you know, something that they didn't anticipate come, something that they don't want happens, whether a heartbreak happens, it takes them off, okay? And they become disgruntled and they become, you know, totally misaligned. And they will realize that that season of their life, they were actually very bad, very bad. But when they decided to take everything into their own hands, the matters into their own hands, and said, this heartbreak is actually not going to kill me. This heartbreak is only making me stronger. So you realize that these people go back to alignment, and all of a sudden now they can run afresh and they can achieve the kind of life that they want to be able to achieve. All right? So positive energy attracts abundance. I want you to be able to note that. I want you to ask yourself every time, question the kind of energy that you have. Question the kind of energy that you are exuding. Question the kind of siren, the kind of frequency, the kind of vibration that you are sending out there. You know, you can see someone and all of a sudden you just feel negativity. And then you see someone and all of a sudden you feel positivity. It's the state of their inner person, okay? When they're enthusiastic, for example, when they say that happiness is actually, is it a happiness or a smile, or like, it's like medicine, okay? Because we will see, it will radiate, okay? It will radiate. A person that is thinking good thoughts, you will see them by how they smile, how they hug, how they spin around the room, how they greet others, a person that has very bad energy, you will still see them by how they treat others, how they show up, and what happens in their lives. All right? So when you walk around knowing that the joy of the Lord is your strength, okay? Let me tell you, nothing will beat you down. And these are some of the confessions that we should have. I know so many of us love affirmations. Affirmations are good. I love confessions, because when I said that the joy of the Lord is my strength, okay, and that is Nehemiah 8:10, it creates a different surrounding. Even when I was feeling beaten down, even when I was feeling, that is how we confess. One way of aligning ourselves is confessing, okay, and knowing that we are confessing positivity and we are confessing what we want. Before you know it, when the Bible says that let the weak say, I am strong, okay? When you say, I am strong, I can see, I am successful, I am wealthy. When you say, I'm going to lend to the nations, when you say, you realize all that, you are reprogramming your energy. You are reprogramming your energy, and that is going to help you to get to your goals and the things that you want to be able to achieve in life, okay? And then energy restores. The power of energy. I don't know how to have you understand that, but the day you will understand that, or if God can help you understand that, you will understand that energy is everything. All right? Even when God was creating the world, I mean, he created with words. He said, let there be light, let there be this, let there be this. The power of his words and the energy that they came with, and they were able to do the creation. Energy is creating, is power to create, okay? the power to create. But where does that come from? My main concern is that it comes from it comes from deep within. Okay, it comes from deep within, and you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. Okay, who you are inside, just like still the Bible says that the fullness, out of the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. Okay, so most of the times the reason as to why we will speak certain words, okay, and words without power, words without energy, or words, because that's our internal state. So I want you to look at your internal state before you even fumble about the external, before you fumble about anything else. Energy, alignment with abundance, action as an energy in motion, the things that we are talking about, and then the high energy attracting opportunities to you. You become a magnet for partnerships, for ideas, for resources. You become, because there are people, by the way, who will tell you, I know I'm going to get it. I know. And by the way, two people, okay? One is highly educated, one has all the qualifications, one has everything on paper that would have them have that project or that contract. And then there is someone else that is, half, like they don't have everything figured out. But what they have is their internal state of self-belief, the energy of optimism, of anticipation, of believing that they can actually get it. And let me tell you, this person actually ends up getting it, because whoever asks him, it's like, no, I'm going to get it. Wait, I'm going to show you. Today, it's going to be a done deal, until you actually learn that this person is one that believes against belief that things are going to go in their favor. Even when they get into either there's an interview or there's a criteria of some sorts, there's a way they go through the system, there's a way they are vibrant, and they attract some of these things. So the person that is well-schooled and high qualifications and everything is good on paper, chances are their energy, or whatever it is, the opposite of the energy, could not actually attract whatever they actually wanted. They wrote everything, but they were like, oh my God, I don't think I will. I think there's so many people, I don't think I will actually get this. But and they feel like they're either overqualified, and sometimes they trust their papers. Just imagine you trust an external factor instead of having an internal alignment. Now that is a problem in itself, because if your head is in, I have good papers, they're just going to look at my qualifications. I don't think anyone here is as qualified as I am. I don't think that is external. That is external. It is, you are blocking your energy. Your energy has been blocked, and all of a sudden another person gets it, and all of a sudden you're like, but he was less qualified. Yes, he was less qualified by all means. He could not even get to a quarter of what you have. But guess what they had? They had internal alignment. They had an energy that would attract the kind of resources, the kind of opportunities, everything that they needed. And I know there are times where even the non-believers, or the people that do not believe, or the doubters of this, the Thomases of this life, have believed for something and it has come true. But we need to be able to prepare ourselves to be in a constant state of believing, in a constant state of proper energy, positive energy, in a constant state that no one can compromise it, not even a bad situation, not even a bad, No. Yes, it will happen, but it will be like, I will figure out a way. Do you see that such a person, a hurdle has happened, a loss has happened, but they'll be like, I'll figure it out. There is one that is wailing. You've seen people that lose things. They lose either businesses in fire or something like that. There will be one that will be like, you know what, I'm finished, I am dead. And that is like all their minds and all their state of being is wrapped up in being finished and being dead. There's someone over here that is lamenting also that, feel it's a great loss, it was a great blow, but there is a flickering hope inside of them that, you know what, I'm going to rebuild. I will figure it out. They have not taken my brain. They have not taken, as in, I am here. I am the resource. I'm not even starting from scratch. I'm starting with myself. So hello, I am actually going to make it. So internally, while everyone is saying, oh, sorry, oh my God, I don't know. If I were in your position, I don't even know what I would do. I think I would be dying. I think I would be doing what? And by the way, they are going through motions. I know there's so many times where maybe something has happened and someone is telling me, oh, sorry about that. But my internal state is totally different from my external state. And like for me, I'm not looking at it as a loss. I'm not looking at it as a dead end. I'm not looking at it as a no. I'm not looking at it, and the people around me do not understand. Yes, I will be, just to make them feel good that they have said sorry, that they have been, that they have felt. I'll be like, yeah, it will be okay. But internally, I want to dance. And like, it amazes me how I have gotten to there. But I guess how I have gotten to there is because of the so many hurdles, of so much bad life that I have lived before. And the only thing that I had was myself to believe, to make it happen, to get me to where I wanted. And I just had to align my mind. Number 2 has been the knowledge of God in my life. That beats everything for me. The knowledge of God, what He wants for me, my identity in Him. As in, that beats everything. That has aligned me, because then I'm like, I have nothing else to believe in. The only thing I have been taught in life to believe in is God, and then the only thing I have learned to lean on is God. And if He says that I am an overcomer, He says I'm going to lend to the nations, He says I'm going to be successful, He says I'm the head and not the tail, if He says that I am rich and I am wealthy, if He says, oh my God, that is exactly who I am going to be. So for me, it has been a life of believing and soaking myself, and me being that. And my internal status, I think, had no choice but to align. Because how I pray, let me tell you, is not, I don't think it's how most people pray. I don't know how most people pray because I'm not in their brains, but I think how I pray is not how other people pray. I believe in the power of words. I believe in the power of my thoughts. I believe that is why whenever a strange thought drops in my mind, I even repent about it. And I've said this before. It's not that I'm saying it here. I repent about it. I block it immediately. And then I evoke the good thoughts. I evoke what I want. Why? Because I learned not to play around with my mind. I learned not to play around with my mind, because I know how strong it is. My words, I'm very careful, because half the time when I speak, they come to pass. Now, if that is not alignment, I don't know what that is. Some of you will say, oh, maybe she's lucky. No, I have never been lucky. I have never been lucky. No. It has been God and principles, and me applying those principles, okay, and getting the results that come out of the principles, okay? So, energy is an exchange principle, okay? How we get things is because we interact with other things, we give value to others, and then we gain value out of them. So you realize that it is an exchange. We give services, we give products, we give solutions, and then we receive wealth in return, okay? So you realize that the energy is an exchange principle. And so when we look at it as an exchange principle, then we know the flow of things. We know that I must be able to provide value. We know that I must be able to provide a service, to provide a product, to provide a solution, and then the world is going to reward me, or the world is going to in turn give me the money that I want, the wealth that I want, whatever it is, but it is an exchange. So energy is in flow, okay? Now, when you stop the flow of energy, that is where you stop everything. When you stop the wheel, Okay, that means you have stopped the will at a place where you do not believe, at a place where you are not anticipating anything, at a place where, as in, you have killed all your energy, you have turned down the taps, and then the wheel has stopped moving. So you are stuck. Just look at it. If you want to get unstuck, get the flow back in motion. Get the wheel back in motion. The wheel of what? The wheel of the energy, it being a principle. And if you initiate the will, if you know that, by the way, you know what, I must be able to give value in order to get the wealth. Okay, so what value must I give? What do I have? Without even looking at my education background, without what do I have? What can I do? I am a brilliant person. Clearly, I can create something. I know the needs of people. And if I know the needs of people, I can find solutions to them. If I know their pains, I can find solutions to them. So I am going to write this book, and in exchange, I'm going to get wealth. I am going to make this course, create this course, and in exchange, I'm going to get I'm going to get money. I am going to create this workshop, and in exchange, I'm going to get money. I am going to give my knowledge. I'm going to do work. I'm going to, and in exchange, I'm going. So the moment you stop the flow, and if the flow is not working for you, then there is something internally that is not aligned. Okay, some of you are living in perpetual fear of losing the things that you have, the perpetual fear of whether this money is going to be. I told you how I was like that, in perpetual fear of whether my money was going to get depleted, it was going to get finished. I don't want to get back into being poor. I don't want to get, and I realized that was also a block. I was stopping the flow. So what I did is I opened the flow again. That when God tells me to help someone, I will actually open my hands to help. When God tells me give, I will give. Not out of fear that my abundance is coming down, but out of obedience that He is faithful to do what He has promised to do. That when He says give and it shall be given back to you, pressed down, okay? I mean, overflowing. I want the pressed down and the overflowing. So I am not going to hold what I have. So what I know is energy is an exchange principle. Guys, I even don't know. I don't know whether you really understand. If you understand that it's an exchange principle, then you're going to open your hands and you're going to start the flow. Be it love, by the way. Yeah? We give love and receive love. All right? And sometimes the reason as to why we cannot even receive the love is because internally there is no love flowing inside of us. So we feel like we do not deserve. We feel like we are less than. We feel, and when you think about that, the Bible says that as a man thinketh, that is who he is. Okay, if you think you're unlovable, yes, you're unlovable. If you think you are ugly, yes, you are ugly times 100. If you think you are, whatever you think, those are words of the Bible. They are not my words. So what do you think? If you think you are wealthy, you will start behaving like wealthy. You will start aligning yourself, aligning your emotions, aligning your confessions, aligning your actions. You're going to go out there. You're going to work. You're going to know that it is a value exchange principle. And so you're going to say, what value can I create that I can give in order to receive? And so what are you exchanging? What are you exchanging? Energy is deeper. We talk about manifesting. It's energy that manifests. Okay? That, you know what? I put a car on my vision board. I put a house on my vision board. People have put pictures of themselves in wedding gowns. People have put pictures of husbands. People have put pictures of children. And the reason as to why we will call it an energy that helps you to manifest is that when you look at that picture, what you do things that align that will get you to that picture. So do you see, it's not the picture that is bringing it to pass. It is you, the person, and the energy that you have internally because you anticipate, because you're enthusiastic, because you know that I can get it. I deserve it. I am a child of God, or I am brilliant, okay? I can actually figure it out. So before you know it, you have gotten there. And you look back and you're like, but how did I get here? You actually anticipated. We never get to things. Have you ever bought a car that you have never seen? I don't think so. Have you ever built a house that you have never seen? That is why we ask for impressions. That is why we ask for architectural drawings. Why? You want to see. You want it to be tangible, to be visible. And then you think about yourself in that sitting room. You think about yourself in that bedroom. You think about yourself. And you're like, how will it feel? And it creates the flow of energy inside of you. You start working hard. You start spending on that building. And before you know it, you have the building, the beautiful structure that you wanted it. Why? The ball will set rolling. So yes, some of us have lived randomly with random energies, but those random energies have been able to get us somewhere. But if you want to go beyond, if you want to go to the next level, if you want to go to the next level wealth, if you want to go to the next level success, if you want to go to the next level significance, whatever it is that you want more of, you are going to be now very intentional about that energy. The random energy is going to stop somewhere. And some of you have realized that the energy has stopped. You're like, because when you are younger, let me even say this. Some of these things I didn't even prepare to say. When you are younger, you are much more optimistic, okay? Because then you have not gotten to the toughness of the toughness of the world has not gotten to you. You've not been contaminated by the world. So your mind is actually fresh, and so you're enthusiastic about life. That is when Ariel is asking me for a man that is going to drive his car. Like, in his mind, he just doesn't know that there is, he knows my mother can't get me the man that drives the car that she bought me. So we have to get the man that drives the car. Period. He's enthusiastic. He's aligned because the world has not gotten to him. Okay? So you realize that, and so many times when he comes to you, mommy, 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 every time you'll be like, you know what, let me just buy these. Like recently when they wanted teddy bears and they wanted babies, and because now I'm a grandmother of teddy bears and babies. So every time they came to me, we want this and we want that and we want that. And for them, there is no telling that there's no budget for that or there is no budget for that. So for them, their minds are just enthusiastic about it. One day I get to town and I just tell Tim, we're not going home without teddy bears. And so he's like, now, teddy bears, again, going to Chinatown, again, he's like, you know what, let's go to Carrefour. And I'm like, then at Carrefour, we're not going to find the teddy bears that I am looking for. Because what I had in mind is I wanted to give them something big, something that they would really appreciate. And let me tell you, that very evening, not looking at the traffic jam, not looking at everything else that was against everything, we managed to make our way to Chinatown to get the teddy bears and to get the dolls and what. And oh my God, right now I have become a doctor because I have to sew, because whenever they pull them, whenever they do what, but you realize what I'm explaining is the state of being and their mind and the energy that is around younger children and even younger adults. Why? Because they have not been contaminated so much. They believe everything is possible and their parents can figure out everything. However, when we grow, the older we grow, the more fearful we get. The older we grow, the more needs we have. The older we grow, we understand the world better. And we know the world is not a safe place. And we know, so most of these things take us out of alignment. That is why we lose confidence. We are born confident. We grow up confident. You can say anything. You can do anything. When you get older, the confidence gets squashed up. The world teaches you its own ways. The world tells you cannot get everything you want. The world tells you, the world teaches you. So the world has molded us for a very long time in a certain way. And if we are not careful to just go against those ways and say, you know what? No. This is not going to move the way it's moving currently. I think I need to be able to rewire, to reprogram my mind. So even as we pray, by the way, you need to go back to being like a child. When you pray to God, the way I pray to God is I believe everything is figure outable. I believe everything is going to be answered. I believe I deserve it, and I believe that I am his child, and I believe that he withholds nothing good from me. That everything good he has belongs to who? To his children. And who am I? I'm his child. Yeah? So now that alone makes me work like I'm not going to fail, makes me show up like I'm not going to fail, makes me love like I will never be broken, makes me, as in, it just makes me, it takes me back into the bubble of being like a child, okay? Of having a limitless mind, of having an infinite mind, of having everything that I need. So it is an energy. And the sooner you realize that it is an energy, the better for you, because then it's going to help you align everything. The energy is a multiplier. Okay? Energy is a multiplier. You put in the work and it directly impacts the outcomes. Okay? Consistently infusing your efforts with focus, with creativity, with passion, amplifies the results. Okay? Multiplying the potential for the wealth and the success that you need in your life. It is a multiplier. Energy. And we were in the Pray, Plan, and Prosper season, and I talked about the grace and how it gives us things that are unexplainable, very unexplainable. Like, I can't explain my life. Some things I can't explain. I don't know how I might be able to explain certain things, but certain things I can't explain. How I got here, how I have what I have, how I know what I know, how I am as happy as I am, as in certain things are unexplainable, and that is the grace of God. Now, I believe that our energy, the energy that we exude, the vibration and the frequency as well, yeah, when you are attuned and aligned and you work with that, that is why I will go to speak, or I will speak with 3 people and I'm like speaking with 1,000 people. Where is that coming from? Is the energy that can never be depleted from the inside of me, the positive energy that can never be depleted from inside of me. Do you know that even as you're creating adverts and you're creating whatever it is, there is an energy. When you create an advert and think it's bogus and it's not going to attract anyone, it's not going to attract anyone. And you will create a poor, what you would call like a poor advert, and you will have your belief, you will be aligned, you'll be like, you know what, I will get people, people, I mean, they will come, as in you've done it with a lot of belief. So the energy you're pushing out there is very positive, and so before you know it, people are starting to come. People are starting to come. When you open up your business and you're enthusiastic, you work at it with passion, you work at it, you realize that the people you attract, the customers you attract, look at it. The day you go to your shop and you're thinking you're all sluggish, the energy, the what, even the day just goes like that. That is why I usually tell people, decide the kind of day you want to have. You have that power. Decide the kind of day you want to have. Decide the kind of year you want to have. Decide the kind of marriage you want to have. Decide the kind of friendship. Decide. That decision is not, do not leave it in anyone's hands. Don't leave it in anyone's hands. Just know that you have the power to decide how much money you earn. But some of us, we feel like, because the world has taught us that we cannot decide, we have to have a boss that decides for us. Yes, you can have a boss and you can still decide how much money you want to have. Why? Because you are passionate. Because let me just give an example. When you work for someone, every company is looking to make money, okay? When you find out that your company is looking to make money, even if you were hired in finance, even if you were hired in, let me say, procurement, and you're like, the end game for this company is to actually make money. Okay, now we have known the end game. So now you have been employed for something else. You're like, I'm going to work 9 to 5, and other hours, can I be able to do something? Can I learn how to market, how to sell, how to position this company so that I can bring in customers and earn commission? When you decide at the beginning of the year that actually I have a blank check for me to write the kind of money I want to take home every month, to write the kind of money I want to take home at the end of the year. How much money do I want to make? Now, I have put that on your vision board. You have put it where you see every day, and you're like, by the time this year ends, this is the kind of money that I want to make. Now I want to be able to work backwards. What can I do that can get me to this money? Clearly my job alone cannot get me to this money. That means I must be able to do other things. What can I do? Every company in this world is looking for customers. Even if it's not the company that you're working for or the organization that you're working for, there is somewhere, you can go as a freelance and ask them, take me through, train me, okay? I want to know, how do you make your money, and what kind of clientele are you looking at? How do you charge them? What are your packages? Just imagine if you went to 3, 4, 5 companies and you're like, you know what? Yes, I have my job, but on top of that, I sell insurance. On top of that, I am selling, because insurance companies are looking for customers all the time. The banks are looking for customers. So if you go to what? If you go to Centenary and learn their packages, learn what they do, and go to Jubilee and learn what they do, and go to another, if it's insurance, you can sell insurance for 5 different companies. We limit ourselves. Why? Because we have limited and blocked the energy from within. So we are not opening our minds. So if we think that energy is a multiplier, okay? So when you put that energy, it directly impacts your outcomes. The moment you know that, and you know that I'm going to infuse passion into my efforts, and I'm going to put myself in multiple places, I'm going to strategically position myself. This is the kind of money that I want. Let me tell you, your energy is going to be a multiplier, and you're going to get the things that you need fast. And if you put your energy to rest, if you put your energy to sleep, if you decide and confess negative, if you decide and do not believe, if you decide and say other people have it better, and it seems others are more privileged, and people have other statuses, and say you are doomed, indeed you are doomed. So I want you to tell you that whatever you tell me you are, indeed you are. If you are doomed, that's what you think, you are doomed. If you are blessed, and that's what you think, and I told you, you are the blessing. Nothing else is, you are the blessing. You carry the blessing. If you are blessed, then you are blessed. Okay? If you're enthusiastic, if you are passionate about life, if you are, that is who you are. It is going to attract, it is going to multiply, it is going to give you the kind of life that you want, and life will be unexplainable. You will get to a place and say, how did I get here? Okay? How did I get here? And yet you will know that the energy, the grace of God, the believing in bigger, the faith that you had of things that are not as though they are, that is energy right there. That is energy. I don't know how you read your Bible, but when you read such, just know it is energy. When you put it out there and say, I believe for this, it is not yet, but I believe it is going to come, and you will call it into existence. So that is how energy works. I've not exhaustively handled this. I know that we will find time to keep handling here and there, but I pray you can reprogram your energy. You can reclaim your power, that you can be able to decide the kind of life that you want to live, the kind of year you want to have, the kind of friendship, the kind of relationship, the kind of love, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of happiness that you want to have. We can all make it. This is not just for me. It is not just for a chosen few. It is for all of us. So don't let some of us break with goodness. Please share in the goodness. I love you, and may the Lord bless you.